Hey folks, Scott, Graybeard. Our adventure today is we're going to fix the little Simplicity mower. The last video I made, I was plowing snow and I told you I cut out the part where I lost a wheel bearing and the wheel fell off. I had to rig it to finish plowing. So today we're going to fix it. You could see my rig job right there. It got me through, but I didn't plow my neighbor's driveway like I normally do because I didn't want to push it and have it fall off again. So, yeah, rigging at its finest. So I'll get the tractor jacked up and we'll get this off. I have the new bearings. We'll get her back in business. Thanks to Amazon, in 2 days, we had the parts. And here you can see what was in the box. Originally this tractor came with bushings in the rims. This is a bit of an upgrade. These are actually ball bearings that should last a lifetime, but I can't complain. This is a 1994 tractor and it just lost the original bushings, so I think we're doing good. Washers, the moon clips, the bearings, new dust caps. I can find a good place to put this jack. We'll get her jacked up. Probably this plow mount will work right here. Be a lot easier if the plow was not on here, but I think we can make it work. She's up. Okay, first thing is, let's get this hose clamp off of here. I cannot believe this thing actually held because there wasn't much to grab a hold of. Holding on better than I thought it would. Okay, what I'm going to try to do, I've got this piece of rebar. I'm going to try to drop it down in here and see if I can knock that bushing out of there. If I can get a hold of anything. Still there. There's the bushing. Not in the best of shape. One of them. Let's see if we can get the other one. There's the other one. There's the new bearing. I'm going to go ahead and try to get it started by tapping it lightly with a hammer. And if it wants to give me trouble, I could probably just do it without using the press. Honestly, let me find a socket that fits that pretty well. Maybe I don't need a socket. Maybe I can use the old bushing. Looks pretty good. Flip it over. Same thing. The old bushing. Looks pretty good. So I get seated really well. Not very difficult at all. Before I put the tire back on and button this side up, I'll put some wheel bearing grease on the spindle axle here, because something tells me this has not had any grease in a long time. I tried to pre-fit the tire on here already, and it looks like I'm going to have to knock it on. Hoping this grease will help with that. I stopped taking video of that side because I ran into some difficulties, but I got it done. I thought I'd move on to this side now that I understand the difficulties I ran into. I think most of the problem was the axle was old and rusty and twisted and gouged, and I had a heck of a time getting the bearing to slide on. So I'll go ahead and here's this moon clip or E clip, whatever you want to call it. You just got to get a hold of it with your screwdriver and get it out of there. I can tell this one has probably never been off of here. I can get it turned so I can actually see the end of it. Of course, it's going to want to fight me the whole way. Well, it moved a little bit there. There. They usually go flying. Washer. Tire. And I'll be back. You saw me take the bushings out of the first one. That is off. And what I ran into last time was that spindle, or I guess you could call it a little axle shaft. I think from being so long with the bad bushing in it, it was just totally screwed up. So I'm going to try this time to really clean this up. Maybe take a wire wheel to it and hit it good. Old grease, really old grease that's thick and caked in there. So we'll try that route and see if that helps me at all, because I had a heck of a time getting the new bearings on the other side. I had to try a couple different approaches until I found what worked. So let's see what happens. Then I'm back. We got the wire wheel. See what we can do with this. Because when I put that other one on, I was on the verge of breaking the bearing. All right, let's start out with some grease. See where that takes us. Clean the hands off. I see my phone is flashing that the battery is low. So we'll see where that gets us. Now this should just slide on, but it just doesn't want to. Shouldn't have to beat on a bearing like that, but it is the right part, but I'm not sure what's going on. But I got her going that far. She slid on. Much better than the last one. Much, much better. I'm gonna put a little bit of grease around here just to help it slide into that rim easier. And once I put the tire on, you won't be able to see that side. I'll struggle to see that side. That side, honestly. But with the other side, this is what worked best. Put a little grease on the inside of this bearing. Hopefully help it slide. Grease on the outside. And I don't have a choice. I'm going to have to give it some persuasion with a hammer. I'll get my glove on. There it went in. Get the old bushing to use to beat on it now. And it went in. That was so much better than the other one. So much better. Takes one to learn on, I suppose. This. Our washer goes on. New E-clip, moon clip, half moon clip, whatever you want to call it. In the slot. It's on. And I got to get the new dust cap. Dust cap. Yeah, you don't want to be running these without your dust cap because you get dirt and dust and who knows what else inside here and ruin your new bearings. Just like that. There she is. Let me let it down. And there's your new bearings. And just like that, we have new bearings on the front of the old Simplicity Regent, ready to plow again. And for God's sakes, I hope we're done with that this year and it's not needed anymore. Now, the last step when you work on any project, whether it's your mower, your car, your truck, whatever, is to clean your tools. Don't be lazy and put your tools away dirty. That annoys the hell out of me. Here's all the tools I needed for that little job. The chisel. Needed the wrench to get the hose clamp off, channel locks, ball peen hammer, and the big boy hammer. Because if all else fails, get a bigger hammer. But I cannot stand to put my tools away dirty. And the next time I need them, I go to grab a hold of them and they're dirty, covered in grease. That's really annoying to me. And my kids know that. My son, when he comes over to work in my barn, he knows when he's done with my tools, they need to be clean and put back. It doesn't take but a second to wipe them down so they're clean for the next time. Not a big deal. And this is a good way to get a lifetime of use out of your tools. And I'm telling you what, if you're going to work on things in your shop, you need to have a brass rod like this. Because you all know brass is a metal, but it's a soft metal. You can, like, I used it to tap on those bearings. You can tap on things and not worry too much about breaking them as long as you don't get stupid, but you have to have a brass rod. Even clean the lid and the can that the grease is in. Because the next time I need it, I'll reach in the cupboard where it is and grab it. And if it's not clean, I'll get grease all over my hands, dirty grease. And we don't like that. Wipe off the drill. Put it back in its place. I'll put those away in a second. In my shop, everything has a place and it needs to be in its place. So I don't have to go hunting for it the next time I want it. I figured I had a project that needed done. I might as well take you along for the adventure. I hope somebody out there learned something from it. If you ever want to tackle a project like this, it's not that difficult, but now you've seen it done. Till my next one, it's Graybeard saying, make sure you always take the time to tell those you love what they truly mean to you, because you never know when it just may be too late. Thanks for watching.